When she slipped her hand out of mine that night, I felt it, the quiet fracture. The music was loud, laughter spilled like champagne across the room, but beneath it all was a silence that screamed louder than any argument we'd ever had. I watched her, my wife, brush a lock of hair behind her ear and smile in a way I hadn't seen in months, the kind of smile that used to be mine. She was looking at him, my boss Raymond Pierce, tall, silver-haired, dressed in a midnight blue suit that looked expensive even under the dim lights. The kind of man who didn't need to speak loudly to command a room. And there she was, my wife Emily, laughing at something he said, her hand lingering on his arm a beat too long. I told myself it was nothing, just polite conversation, just business, just my imagination. But then she looked at him the way she used to look at me, as if he was the only man in the room. I turned back to my drink, pretending I didn't see, but the whiskey burned differently that night. We'd been married for 7 years. Emily used to say I made her feel safe. She liked my steadiness, the predictability of me. But lately, she'd started using words like comfortable instead of happy. I thought I could fix it by working harder, more hours, more bonuses, more of everything except time with her. James, she'd said a week earlier, her voice soft but sharp, I don't want to be invisible anymore. I didn't understand then what she meant. I do now. Halfway through the evening, Raymond made a toast. His arm brushed hers again as he lifted his glass. She didn't move away. When our eyes met across the room, I smiled, the way a man does when he's trying not to look desperate. She didn't smile back. Later, I found her outside on the terrace. The city stretched below, glittering like broken glass. She was on her phone, whispering, her back to me. Emily, I said quietly. She flinched. James, you scared me. Who were you talking to? No one, she said too quickly. Just checking on Mom. Her voice cracked on Mom. It used to crack only when she cried. I nodded slowly, pretending to believe her. All right. The rest of the night blurred, small talk, clinking glasses, polite smiles that felt like lies. When Raymond offered to drop Emily home, she hesitated just long enough for me to notice. I'll come with, I said. He smiled, that effortless, confident grin that men like him wear like armor. Of course, James. The more the merrier. But halfway through the night, when I returned from the restroom, they were gone. Her coat, her purse, the champagne flute she'd left half full, all gone. Have you seen Emily? I asked one of my colleagues. Oh, she left, he said, distracted. With Mr. Pierce, I think. Something about getting her home safely. The words hit harder than a punch. I drove home alone. The roads were empty, slick from rain. I called her, no answer. I called again. Still nothing. By the 5th call, the line went dead. When I got home, the house was dark. Her shoes weren't by the door. Her favorite sweater wasn't on the couch. I sat there for hours waiting. The clock ticked. The fridge hummed. I stared at the door, willing it to open. It never did. She came home the next morning at 7 a.m. Her lipstick was smudged. Her hair smelled like his cologne. Expensive, heavy, unmistakable. I stayed at a friend's, she said flatly. Which one? I asked. She hesitated. That half-second of silence was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. You don't trust me anymore, do you? She whispered. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something, demand the truth, make her feel the ache she just carved into me. But instead I just said, I'm tired, Emily. She walked past me without another word. For weeks I lived in a fog of doubt. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe she really did just need space. But every time her phone buzzed, she turned it face down. Every time she went out with friends, she came home smelling like another world. One I wasn't allowed in. The night it broke open was quiet. She was in the shower when her phone lit up on the nightstand. The name R. Pierce appeared on the screen. A message flashed beneath it. Last night was worth every risk. My hands trembled. The world tilted. I opened the message thread. There were dozens. Photos. Words I can't forget. She'd been meeting him for months. The business dinners, the late meetings, the spa weekends. All lies. When she came out of the shower, towel wrapped around her, she froze. You went through my phone? I shouldn't have had to. My voice was steady, almost too calm. James, it's not what you think. I laughed, that broken kind of laugh that sounds like choking. Then tell me what it is. She didn't. She just looked at me, eyes full of guilt and something else, pity. I didn't mean to hurt you, she said finally. But I can't go back to pretending. Pretending, I said. Pretending to love me? She didn't answer. That was answer enough. I left. I didn't pack anything. I just walked out into the cold night air, my hands shaking so hard I could barely start the car. For days I stayed at a motel. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I thought about revenge, about rage, about showing everyone the truth. But revenge felt small compared to what she'd taken from me. Not just love but belief. Then a week later I saw them. A company dinner. She was on his arm, laughing, her hand resting on his chest. He looked proud. She looked relieved. When she noticed me across the room, her smile faltered. I raised my glass. She looked away. That night I quit my job. I sent Raymond's wife every message, every photo. I didn't add a single word. Just the truth. By morning the company was chaos. Raymond was taking time off. His wife had left. Emily called me once, I didn't answer. Weeks passed. Then one night I got a letter in the mail. Her handwriting. It said only, "You didn't have to destroy everything." I already hated myself. I folded the letter, placed it in a drawer, and locked it away. I don't know if I'll ever stop loving her. But I do know this. The man she left me for gave her everything money could buy. Except peace.